WNYathletics.com would like to WNYathletics.com WNYathletics.com would like to thank today's sponsors. Howard Hanna Real Estate Services. Ready to sell your home? Visit howardhanna.com today. Howard Hanna. Home happens here. Western New York Immediate Care, with 4 convenient locations in the Buffalo area: Amherst, Buffalo, Depew, Lancaster, and Orchard Park. Western New York Immediate Care is now offering telemedicine services to provide you care anytime, anywhere. Visit WNY Immediate Care on-site or virtually at WNYimmediatecare.com. Logistics Plus Buffalo is your go-to resource for all your transportation needs. LP moves freight of all shapes and sizes all across the world. Call LP Buffalo today at 716-877-9653 or email buffalo@logisticsplus.com. AdPro Sports. AdPro is the largest team sports dealers and brand merchandise providers in the nation. For a variety of custom merchandise solutions, from apparel to promotional items, visit adprosports.com. Empire Electric. For all your home, business, or office electrical needs, call Empire Electric at 716-634-0330. Free estimates and financing available for all customers. Empire Electric. Call 716-634-0330.
Saturday night's all right for fighting coming to you from Depew High School as the Depew Wildcats are hosting the Pioneer Panthers to kick off their 2022 campaign in Section 6 football. You are watching only on Western New York Athletics. Good evening, everyone. Along with Tim Morozak, I am Joe Kraus. Frank Wolf is our producer, and Russ Battaglia is our cameraman upstairs bailing the heat. It's going to be a fiery one here, Tim, between the Wildcats and the Panthers.
And we know throughout Western New York, a lot of games on tap today. Keeping hydrated is key. Fortunately for this game tonight, the temperature should drop as the game goes on, but at game time, right around mid-80s, and cramping could be an issue, but this is where live bullets start tonight for both teams. Both teams coming into the season, strong off seasons, strong last season, so it should be an exciting matchup, to say the least.
Absolutely, Tim. As for the Depew Wildcats, calling off a 6-3 campaign with their head coach, Mr. Mark Direnzio, in his 5th season coaching the Wildcats as head coach. He has been a part of the program all the way back since 1993, and he made a big note with us this week that it is the program where former Green Bay Packers quarterback, the Magic Man, Don Metchkowski, played for the Packers and the Colts during the 80s and 90s, and for the Wildcats, Tim, they have a couple big playmakers trying to carry that momentum here in 2022.
Yeah, that starts, in my opinion, with Muhammad Khalil. Mo Khalil takes over those big shoes by Carson Alberti, who's graduated, Christian Pagano before Alberti, and now Mo Khalil will get the call. There is another Pagano on this team, and we'll keep an eye on him as well as the day goes on. But I think it's going to be starting with running back Mo Khalil. I'm really interested to see how he fills in for Alberti's absence.
And on the flip side, for the Pioneer Panthers, they're coached by Mr. Jim Dupre. Now 30 seasons overall with the Panthers, 21st season as the head man. We're going to step aside as we honor Americo, the Starksville Bay, and talk to you more on Western New York Athletics. And welcome back to the Frank Constantino Sports Complex, moments away between the Depew Wildcats and the Pioneer Panthers. Joe Kraus, Tim Rozak with you. And Tim, just any last thoughts before we get this one underway?
Well, you're looking at a Class B team in Pioneer, B1 division against a Class C team in Depew. Both teams, though, strong in their divisions respectively. Depew, in terms of coming into this game, probably considered a little bit of an underdog just based on their division. However, they are at home, and that's always a factor. And the home crowd, hopefully that will be a big advantage for the Wildcats tonight. But I think we're in for a great game.
So the teams out of midfield for the coin toss. Depew wearing their dark jerseys this evening. Pioneer wearing their white jerseys. We see in the coin toss, Tim, Mo Khalil, a two-way player. We were talking before the game that he's the guy you've really circled on your roster tonight.
Yeah, defensively, offensively, I think they're going to be getting production from him. He's one of the captains along with Jeremy Kaluz. And look for him, I think, on both sides of the ball today. He's a big, strong looking kid. 5'10", 167 is what we have listed on our rosters. But a lot of times I'm of the opinion these kids sometimes are even bigger. Of course, they're still growing. So Mo Khalil, my player to circle for the Wildcats.
Let's take a look at our officiating crew this evening. Our referee, Mr. Michael Benkowski, the umpire, Joe Argentieri, the linesman, David Wayne. Our line judge is Ferris Road, and our back judge is Joshua Huber. Again, that's our five-man officiating crew. We're glad that they're with us to continue week one of Section 6 football. We'd like to let you know that this is one of three broadcasts on West York Athletics going on right now. We have our crew at the Lockport Hamburg game and also Randolph and Salamanca. And we'll try our best to keep you up to date on those games as well. But we've had a lot of great success in this opening weekend. Tim, you were at West Seneca West North Tonawanda earlier today. A big win for the Indians to move to 1-0 in varsity play.
Yeah, West Seneca West under the sophomore quarterback. He just really impressed, I'd say, overall. That was probably the story of that game. Caden Stupak, who's filling in for Marcus Freeland, who graduated. The sophomore, really solid in that game. He had two good game on the ground, good game in the air, and overall, he had the what I like is at the post-game interview, our Jake Fyock interviewed him, and he still wanted to see a lot of improvement on the offensive passing game. So I like the fact that not satisfied with a big win, and knowing that they've got to always continue to improve. And also in that game, Bernard Freeman, 2 touchdowns. Stellar game on defense also for him. So West Seneca West, the Indians getting off to a great start, and that was 2 o'clock start over in West Seneca West earlier today on Western New York Athletics.
So Depew will receive the opening kickoff. Devin Matuzak kicking off for Pioneer. Depew going left to right on your screen for this opening half. The returner making his way to the 30, crossing the 30. A big return by Jaden Torres to kick things off for the Wildcats, Tim.
Yeah, Torres looks listed as a running back, also showing some good speed. And yeah, I mentioned Pagano is another player to keep an eye on. His brother Christian, tremendous running back and athlete overall for the Wildcats in years past. And his younger brother Tyler, the juniors, in the backfield also this year for the Wildcats.
So Depew will start things off 1st and 10 on their own 34-yard line. Depew in the I formation. And off going to the halfback and balled up right away from that very tough Pioneer front. Coming in at the front, left to right on the defensive line at 205, 250, 280, 215, and they bring the pressure there.
Yeah, it's size, and you can see Pioneer is a big-looking team. Of course, all these programs now, Joe, in the off-season focus on weight training, and it's a great way to bring the kids together throughout the year in sanctioned events or practices, if you will, even. And interesting to see all these teams come in and shape.
Second down. Depew getting to the outside. Then he got back to the line of scrimmage and brought down quickly by Logan Holliday of Pioneer.
Yeah, and Jaden Torres on that ball carry there and not able to find much as a Pioneer defense was right on top of it.
So Jaden Torres, a 5'9" junior, going in at 162 pounds, 2 consecutive carries. No gains, though, so far for the Wildcats. 3rd and 10 coming up. Tommy Che at quarterback in the shotgun. Che takes a snap, a little bobble. Now he kicks it himself and maybe got a yard, but reading it right away is Sam Platt, number 20 for Pioneer.
Yeah, Che doing a nice job of just holding on to that one there. As you mentioned, the snap was bobbled a little bit. And Che, you know, the junior quarterback, it'll be interesting to see how he progresses throughout this season as well. And tonight is a stiff test for sure.
So Jaden Torres back to punt for Depew. Pioneers a man back. Here is Torres. The punt looked like it was deflected, a little bounce, and great position to start for Pioneer inside the Depew 40.
Yeah, it looked like Kyle Stover, I believe, may have been in the backfield, wreaking havoc on that one. And Stover, someone to keep an eye on for the Pioneer Panthers running back last year. One of the few backs who had action. They had major production out of Jack Bunsey, who's gone, and Jaden Okamahalovic. I'm probably mispronouncing that one, Joe, but both those guys produced big numbers in the backfield for Pioneer last year. Both are gone.
Panthers start this drive on the Depew 42-yard line. Kevin Schwab takes the snap, scrambles to his right. Schwab on the move, now fires sidearm. The pass is complete to his receiver, and a good chunk hooking up with his big-time play.
Kyle Kristoff with the tackle. Nice open field tackle on preventing further damage.
Play was Carter Jaiba with the reception. Part of that 1-2 combo with his brother Dalton. So they moved the chains, gain of 5, 2nd and 5 at the Depew 37-yard line. Early stages of the first quarter on this Saturday night, Labor Day weekend. Schwab takes a snap. He'll take it himself. He tries to go up the middle, and he is denied. Brought down by a host of Wildcats that time. And leading the charge was Mo Khalil.
Mo Khalil, and then also Jeremy Kalou's plugging up that middle nicely. He didn't necessarily register in the tackle, but the two captains providing presence on defense early for the Wildcats.
So no gain on the run. So now a 3rd and 5 opportunity coming up for Pioneer. Quick pitch. With the halfback, Dalton Jaibu finds to life inside the 20. Brought down enough for a Pioneer first down before the secondary got to him.
Yeah, the junior running back looking very swift there. He stands 6 foot, 160 pounds. Last year on defense, he had 4 interceptions, and he's somebody you can count on for both sides of the ball right there with a nice carry.
First and 10 at the Depew 24. Panthers here to go to a ground game once again. Dalton Jaibu on the right side, going right behind his line. Getting that help from Mateo Rodriguez, Luke Mathias on that right side to keep the trades going for the Panthers.
Joe, you touched on it slightly, the size of the line for Pioneer. We know Depew has some bigs as well, but in terms of pound for pound, Pioneer is going to win that size battle, at least on paper, and their line looks to be serving up a strong first series now for the offense.
2nd and 4 coming up at the Depew 18. Schwab takes a snap, little bobble, now steps, keeps it himself, and brought down at the line of scrimmage, brought down by a host of Wildcats. Nick Walden, number 78, got to him first.
A little bit of a late whistle there. It's kind of interesting to, see that they let him kind of scrum for a little bit, and that's where, the referees are they're in week 1 also, and just glad to know that the referees are back. We know that there was some potential for a delay in getting the refs back in action, and glad everything's worked out. Certainly a tough job, and right now, just doing the best they can, and right there, good whistle at that point.
So a 2-yard loss brings a 3rd and 6 at the Depew 20. Run to the left side, a good carry coming from Kyle Stover. Gets a couple of yards of the play, brought down by Torres and a pair of Wildcats. So we're going to put it right at the 17-yard line, about a 3-yard gain, and we'll call it 4th and 3 coming up.
Huge 4th down here, and credit to the Wildcat defense. They're holding tough, and right there, we know that the one snap was bobbled a little, so that was a benefit there, and this is a very key moment in the game for the Wildcats.
Looks like both Jaibu brothers in the backfield for the Panthers. The pitch to the right side. Dalton Jaibu on the carry. Gets close to the 10-yard line and then stopped by the Depew defense.
And that should move the chains as well. So Jaibu getting the job done. And again, running behind that stout line. The line of scrimmage so far being won by Pioneer, and that is a big factor in this game. For Depew to have a chance, they do have to contend on that line of scrimmage.
Coach Lorenzo told us earlier this week that defensively we have to be aggressive while trying to dominate the line of scrimmage. So far, Pioneer has won the battle. Schwab takes a snap, rolls out to his right, finds his man in the corner for the touchdown to Carter Jaibu, and that's the first score of the night.
Yeah, Carter Jaibu was really wide open in that way, and nice job for the quarterback. As you can see on the replay, scrambling to his right. He's getting time. Nice block there by number 60 in perfect position. And a good catch there for Dalton Jaibu.
So a 12-yard hookup. Gavin Schwab, the sophomore, finding his classmate Carter Jaibu with the 12-yard hookup. Next play of the way, and good. So Pioneer strikes first to take a 7-0 lead over Depew. 5:12 left to play in the first quarter. We're going to try to step aside for a quick break on Western New York Athletics.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Check.
And welcome back. 5:12 left to play in the first quarter. Joe Kraus, Tim Rozak with you. And Tim, a very solid opening drive for Pioneer.
Yeah, they were able to do both execute run game and passing game on that drive. For the most part, it was the running game that got it done. Dalton Jaibu showing some good moves, getting some solid chunks of yardage along that stout offensive line. So really a nice start there for the Pioneer Panthers.
So big return coming for Depew. Now a flag on the play.
It's your headset.
Alonzo Handley with a beautiful
That's it.
return, a late flag on that. Generally, that's not a good sign for the receiving team.
So Depew will bring out their offense for the second time tonight. And under 5 minutes left in the first quarter, Pioneer leading Depew 7-0. Kevin Schwab with a 12-yard touchdown pass to Carter Jaibu to start off the season for the Panthers offense.
Holding call against the Wildcats, so it'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. They threw the flag right around the 41-yard line. Whether that's the spot, I'm not sure, but that's where the flag landed. It is 31 that they'll take the ball, and still decent possession, and of course they'd like that extra 10 yards, if not more.
So 1st and 10 coming up at the 31-yard line. To start this drive, a loose snap. Now covered by the tailback. Tries to get through the traffic. Doesn't appear they got back to the line of scrimmage. And once again, Pioneer reading the miscue from Depew.
Yeah, and there's a couple mishaps with the snap so far for Tom Shea. The last one he was able to recover quickly, and that one there could have been ugly. Nice job by Khalil to step in there and cover that.
Called a 1-yard loss. QB keeper this time for Tommy Shea. Crosses the 30. Trying to keep the chains going with him, and stopped by a host of defenders. Everett Cass leading the charge for the Panthers.
Yeah, Jeremy Clark also in the backfield. Joe, and Jeremy is someone who had a good year last year, both offensively, he had 185 yards rushing, defensively, 63 tackles. So they definitely have the weapons as far as athletes and guys who can become scoring threats. It still goes back to that line of scrimmage.
Under 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Depew trying to respond. Shea in shotgun. Shea takes the snap. Shea steps up, scrambles forward, trying to get through the left side. Only got a gain of 2 or 3 on the play as Pioneer bringing their big man, Ty Richardson, 6'4", 280. And the punt team likely to come on now for Depew.
Joe, there's a case where Shea had good blocking. He had a little bit of time. I think he just figured, his clock was ticking, and he decided to tuck it in and make the most of running it. But there's a case where he did have a little bit more time to maybe read the receivers, and that's something that I'm sure he'll get acclimated to as the season goes on.
Torres on the punt. Time a big booming kick. Taking a bounce inside the 35. Tracking it down. Dalton Jaibu. Jukes by a man. Goes up the sideline. Knocked it out of bounds near the Pioneer 45. And that's where Pioneer will set up shop for this new offensive drive, Tim.
Josh Campbell, assist on the tackle on the special teams for the Wildcats. So there's a situation where Pioneer was able to execute as well their last offensive possession. Can they do it again?
Pioneer trying, as Coach Dupre told us earlier this week, losing the last 2 games of the season, a 4-point loss to Olean, and then a shutout loss to Maritime Health Sciences. They're trying to turn the page. Many of the games were decided by 10 points or less for the overall season, a 5-4 finish for the Panthers. Schwab with the snap, a low pass. It is complete to the right side. The receiver is close to midfield, but there's a flag on the field.
Maritime pretty much demolished anybody in their path in the B class. They are no longer in Class B. They moved up to A, so Pioneer a bit of a more open path to that title with Maritime Health Sciences out of the picture right now.
A lot of reshuffling in the offseason for Section 6 football.
And next year, more to come.
That's right. This will be 1st and 21 coming up for the Panthers. Schwab rolls out right, fires on the run. The pass is complete down the sideline to Carter Jaibu inside the Depew 35.
Works, keep it going, and they had success with that touchdown to Jaibu. And Jaibu, you can see, gets free space quickly. He's got great wheels and showing some excellent hands there on that grab.
Out has been called on the field, so we will step aside as well. 2:39 left in the first quarter. Pioneer lead 7-0 on Western New York Athletics.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
2:39 left to play in the first quarter. Joe Kraus, Tim Rozak with you. Pioneer knocking on the door. Pitch outside once again to Dalton Jaibu on the carry. Crosses the 25, gets to about the 24, and then brought down by the Depew's linebacking crew. Leading the way on that stop for Depew, Justin Reefermat for, once again, the Wildcats.
Joe, you have to think, at this point, you should have someone spying on Dalton Jaibu every play here. I'm sure they have that game plan, but Jaibu still able to make a mistake here early.
And off to the right side. This time Depew finds some momentum coming from the right side of that defensive line. Leading the charge, Jeremy Kula is number 50 on the stop. So a short game this time. But as we mentioned, Dalton Jaibu and his brother Carter. Dalton a junior, Carter a sophomore. And Carter has the touchdown reception so far tonight. Under 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
160, Carter 6'3", 185. So two underclassmen with size and skill. Great to see for the Pioneer Panthers. Serious building blocks for the next couple of years.
2nd and 7 at the Depew 22-yard line. Schwab takes the snap, now rolls right, steps up, still on the run. Pressure on the outside, the pass is incomplete. And great pressure from Justin Reefermat on the outside.
You just mentioned his name not long ago, Joe, and Referment, a player that Mark Rienzo mentioned preseason, a player to watch coming up from JV, just a sophomore, 5'7", 190-pound linebacker, looking strong so far in the first quarter.
3rd and 7 coming up for the Pioneer Panthers.
How about that Depew band rocking? Playing a little, hey, now you're an all-star, Joe. I think before the night's over, I'm going to see your best dance move, the band jam.
Snap, a counter run coming this time. Dalton Jaibu on the run, trying to get to the outside. It doesn't appear he made it far enough, so 4th down opportunity coming out inside the 20.
Get a 4th down for Depew. This is key. We're unable to stop Jaibu up the right side of the They had a few yards to work with there, but 6 yards, hopefully they can contain Jaibu and company and get the ball back here.
About 40 seconds left. The offense still on the field. 4th and long, 6 at the Depew 21-yard line. Schwab takes the snap. Rolls to his right. Once again, pressure on the corner. Ball is loose. It appears Depew has recovered. And the ball appeared maybe went out of bounds.
Captain Nick Walden, I forgot to mention him being a captain on this team as well, but great pressure by Walden there. Yeah, he definitely played a factor in getting that turnover. Turnover on downs, of course, had almost a natural turnover with the fumble, but recovered and still going to be Depew ball. This is a great opportunity now for the Wildcats.
Nick Walden, a 6-foot, 212-pound senior, forcing that turnover on downs for the defensive line. So the offense, 24 seconds remaining. Still a one-score game. Tommy Che takes the snap. Handoff going to the left side. A short carry. Some coming for Reformat. Gets about a gain of 1 or maybe 2 on the play. So it'll be 2nd and 8.
Shea was lined up directly under center there, so no shotgun formation. You can see that play just did not get off very well with the tough defensive line play. Pioneer, great problems.
And this will end the first quarter of play. The Pioneer Panthers, so far so good, trying to turn the page after dropping the last 2 games of the 2021 season. They lead after 1 quarter of play, 7-0 over the Depew Wildcats. We'll be back after this short break on Western New York Athletic.
With exclusive buyer insights and our 100% money-back guarantee, we're confident we'll find buyers for your home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective pediatric care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Welcome back to Depew High School. Joe Kraus, Tim Rozak, Frank Wolf, Russ Bateglia, our crew from Depew High School. And quarter 1, the Bucks Pioneer getting that big score. Second and 9. 22. Che rolls out to his right on the run. A floater pass is complete. Hooking up with this big time play. Jeremy Clark moving the chains enough for Depew. First down. A 13-yard hookup. Shadu Clark, 1st and 10. The Wildcats' 35-yard line, early stages of the second quarter. Wildcats in the I formation. And a false start from Pioneer.
That we've seen Tom Che complete in the air. He looked really good hitting his man, Jeremy Clark. And it's a nice sign to see from Mark DiRienzo and company.
So the penalty moves Depew up 5 yards to their own 40. Hand off, up the middle, scoring another first down for the Wildcats. Only to the run game, this time with going with Mo Khalil.
Substitute out for Jaden Torres. Torres has that speed he showed on the opening kickoff return.
So first and 10 at the Pioneer 46-yard line. And off going to the left side, trying to spin it away is Torres. He is bottled up on the play. Big swarm of defenders. Once again, Richardson laying the stop.
You look at these two coaches, of course, Jay Dupre has more experience under his belt, but Mark DiRienzo doing a nice job in his 5th year here as the Wildcats head coach. You can see the team is very prepared and up to the task tonight.
Two-yard gain on the last run. Depew nearing midfield. Jay rolls out to his right, steps up, fires, pass is complete. Looking inside to Clark again. Back-to-back first downs when those two connected.
Frame of Clark, 6'2", 184, finding open space, and that's a nice target to continue to work with. Clark now taking himself out of the game. Not sure if it's a natural break for him. It looks like he's fine. Maybe just catch a breath and maybe get a drink along the way. Key, that hydration's key. We know covered that game earlier, Joe, at West Seneca West against your alma mater, North Tonawanda, and a lot of guys were cramping up in that one. You can understand the field was probably cooking at 100 degrees plus.
Things have appeared to cool off in Depew as the sun is setting after the reception from Clark the senior. First and 10 at the Pioneer 44. Hand off on the left side, and then a big bump, and then brought down a couple yards on the play. So we'll bring up still maybe 2nd and 7 coming up.
Torres a little slow getting up. He looks fine though. Back to these turfs in the field being a little hotter. I didn't realize it, but you know, with the black pellets that are part of the turf here, that really creates a heat incubator and it creates a higher temperature on the field. So that is a phenomenon that happens with these AstroTurf fields. And today, I'm sure playing in an oven when you're on this field, especially mid-afternoon. Tonight it's cooling down a little bit.
2nd and 9 coming up for Depew on the Pioneer 43. Counter run. Big burst coming up the right side from Khalil, and he gets stopped just past the 40 and brought down right away by Maverick Cass. So it'll be a manageable 3rd and short coming up.
It's a great sign, and I have to say, you know, in terms of like ever having biases doing games, my thing is always I like to see a competitive game, and right now Depew making it a competitive game and putting together a really nice drive here in the early stages of the second.
Call it 3rd and 4 coming up. Depew trying to keep the chains going. The handoff to Khalil. Khalil bursts and brought down at the 35. Brought down by Luke Mathias. And getting a quick stop. Mo Khalil, as we've mentioned so far tonight, 5'10", 167 pounds, and a senior. A lot of success coming last season. 1 touchdown, but 211 rushing yards, and he's carrying the load so far.
Khalil, I had a chance to catch a couple of Depew Wildcat games last year, and definitely was a standout player as a junior, and now as a senior, being relied on in that role of captain, and serving it well so far.
4th and 1, the QB keeper from Che. Depew moves the chains and keeps the drive going. Tommy Che with that speed up the middle.
Yeah, I was a little concerned with Che after that last series. You know, a couple bobbles and things are starting to come together. The offense is definitely in rhythm right now.
Depew keeping this long drive going, similar to what we saw in the first quarter with Pioneers touchdown. Loaded house in the backfield, a handoff once again to Khalil. Cuts his way close to the 20. He with the trades going, able to prevent the score was Logan Holiday in the secondary. And it keeps the trades going. Another first down coming up.
Now Mo Khalil racking up some yardage, and they're killing clock along the way, controlling clock. This is a really nice drive for the Wildcats.
6 minutes to play in the first half. And off again, Khalil, and this time Pioneer read the play like a buck. A host of defenders leading the way, Carter Jaibu. So it'll bring up second down.
Ty Richardson, also the sophomore, with a nice assist on that tackle. And there were a slew of Pioneer Panthers with helmets on the ball. Joe, how about this facility at Frank Constantino Sports Complex? Great view here of the backdrop of the woods. And just a beautiful facility. Depew, a storied program, one of those teams in Western New York that's been around a little over 100 years, I believe. So great to see the fans out tonight. The tradition continues.
Depew rolling out. Tommy J scrambles on the run, trying to find the receiver in the corner. The pass is incomplete. Broken up by Cole Rodas. Trying to look for Brady Hawk in the corner, too.
That pass may not have been right there, but what I do like about it is he minimized damage. Didn't throw it where it could have been picked off. In that situation, keeps the ball. You got plenty of downs to work with, so no sense trying to force something to happen. Tom Che doing a nice job minimizing the damage there.
Jay taking over from Chris Peters, who graduated this past June. So far, so good for the Depew offense. 39 at the Pioneer 20. And before the snap, we have a timeout. So we'll step aside for just a moment. 5:3 left to play. Pioneer leads 7-0.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
You're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
39 at the Pioneer 20. Jay takes the snap, rolls was up, keeps it himself, crosses inside the 15, knocked down at the 13-yard line. A big run for the senior quarterback, brought down from behind, followed by Carter Jaibu, a host of Panthers. Depew keeping the chains going to.
Done in these last two plays. I know the last one was an incompletion. Again, though, minimized damage right there. Didn't have much to work with. Made something out of nothing. And right now, in a manageable 4th down and 2, they convert this, and I'm assuming it's going to be paid thereafter.
Another timeout is called with 5:04 to play. This will be the last timeout for Depew.
Let's go over the B1 division that Pioneer is in. They are in the division along with Berger, Iroquois, Pioneer, of course, West Seneca East, Lakeshore, and then for Depew, the C1 is a Central that they won last year. Alden, Eden North Towns, JFK, Lackawanna, and Springville. We'll try to give you some scores as the game goes on that have taken place over yesterday and some from today. And a lot of action over the last few days. Tonight is the wrap-up of the weekend of football. And for a lot of schools, they'll be starting on Tuesday. And some of these these kids are going to be holding their heads high, and some of them might be eating humble pie.
Depew will be continuing their season with a non-league contest at Southwestern next Friday, September 9th, a 7 p.m. kickoff. Then on the road, they kick off the C Central play, as Tim just mentioned, at Alden on Friday the 16th. But back to the present, 4th and 2 for Depew, and the Pioneer 13, 5:04 left in the second quarter.
Looked like movement on the left side, right side of the defense. But it was a false start on the Wildcats. That one's going to hurt. It's going to take them back to now 4th and 7. Critical penalty to take there. And, it's the early jitters showing their face. Penalties in a game like this, of course, with Depew being down, so critical to stay penalty free. Of course, that's almost impossible, but they've done a fairly nice job so far this game of not being penalized much. Special teams, there was a penalty there, but it seems like it's almost every other play on a kick return these days, so not going to be as critical on that one, but this one here, 4th and 7, here we go.
Jay in shotgun. 4th and 7 at the 18. Jay looks to the left corner on the side, floats it up. It is in the corner. The toe tapper waiting for the call. It is no good. Looked like they were hooking up with Logan Shipley. Let's look at the screen as Jay rolling to his left side, puts up a little floater. We're going to see Shipley on the screen. And yep, he stepped on the white chalk in the back of the end zone, but tough play for Depew, a turnover on downs.
Yeah, that's a really good ball, but in terms of what they were accomplished executing their offense on a better level than their first series, I think Depew showed that they're going to be hanging. That pass was almost there, matter of inches this game, and that showed it right there.
So the Panthers will take over after a lengthy, the best drive for the Wildcats so far this evening. Fortunately with empty points as the Panthers move the change going to the left side. Halfback crossing the 20. And a couple yards on the play.
Yeah, it looked like that was number 5 Jeremy Clark and 55 Ben Pratt had him in the backfield, but the guy was a difficult runner to bring down. 4:30 left to go here in the second. Joe, it's been a great contest so far. Game's moving fast.
Absolutely. Pioneer with that one score. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. It was Schwab to Carter Jaibu for the 7-0 lead. 2nd and 6 for Pioneer, their own 22-yard line. Pioneer continue to go to the ground game, getting a couple of yards on the stop for Depew. Lucas Saya getting his first tackle tonight.
It looked like Carl Rowland, too, also in the mix on that defensive line. Using his size, Rowland is 5'11", 253, and a junior. He definitely has some size as well. They have a kid at 300 pounds, 6 foot, Evan Cummings, number 69. Keep an eye on him as well.
Hand off once again to Dalton Jaibu. The ball appears to be loose. It appears that Pioneer did recover. A good scoop up play from Dalton in the backfield.
I'm not sure if you're catching the same thing I am, but in terms of the line of scrimmage, it looks like Depew is really starting to battle back, and that line of scrimmage battle, both offensively and defensively, has been more of a stalemate the last 10 minutes or so, and that's really helped Depew get back into this, not back into it, but hold tight in this game, and still a touchdown down.
Pioneer in point formation. Here's a snap, a booming kick, a little short kick on the way from Carter Jaibu. It'll bounce just past the Depew 40. So, okay, we have 2:46 left. Tim, you have some time to try to get this short drive. You're over the midfield line, so you have pretty good yardage to start.
That's a great series. 4 and out for Depew. Defense stepping up. Love the way this game has been back and forth. Nice job on that punt block team with Ben Pratt and Jaden Torres getting in there in the backfield, and looked like that punt was disturbed for sure by their presence.
So the officials did move the ball back. We said the 42. It'll be the 44-yard line of Pioneer to start for the Wildcats. Again, the Wildcats knock on the door. And the ball right back after that almost missed inside the back of the end zone. The counter run to Khalil, trying to do the stiff arm, and he is denied by Luke Mathias in the backfield. Mathias in his wheelhouse, 6'2". So one of the big losses of the night for Depew. And that big tackle, I'm sure our buddy Tom Prince will be proud of that. Here's the play. Jay going down the sideline. The pass is complete. Inside, hooking up with Jeremy Clark. It's a big first down for Depew. Inside the 20. And the Wildcats knocking on the door again.
There.
35-yard hook on the play. 1st and 10. The Wildcats knocking on the door under 2 minutes of play in the first half. Jay takes the snap, looks in the right corner, finding his receiver is deflected, and then there are 2 flags in the back of the end zone. Make it a 3rd or 4th, and we have a flag party here in Depew.
From the play before. You just can't do that. You have to keep a calm head. That's a sign of a good team when you can keep your team focused. Of course, these are just high school kids. You have to keep that in mind. But the discipline factor, and right now, most likely this is going to serve the benefit of you.
The officials are discussing the play as we take a look here in our booth. Joe Kraus, Tim Rozak with you. Thank you all for watching out in TV land as the Pioneer Panthers with that 7-0 lead over Depew. And as we just saw, it was Jeremy Clark going one-on-one with Maverick Cass, the defensive back of Pioneer, going toe-to-toe. So we're still discussing. There were some other players in on the surge from both Depew and Pioneer. So that's what I imagine is the reason why there are multiple flags on the play. But as we said, so far a good night here at Pioneer. We also have our coverage through West York Athletics, Lockport and Hamburg, Randolph taking on Salamanca. So we'll try to get updates on those for you as our night goes along from Depew. But a great night here from the Freight Constantino Sports Complex. 1:46 left in the first half. And we mentioned Depew. They'll be on the road for the next 2 Fridays, but they'll be back to host Lackawanna, the Steelers, on September 23rd at 7 p.m., getting into the heart of that C Central play.
Joe, the temperature is just dropping down really nice right now. You can see the fans have come out in good numbers for their view. And also, Pioneer, the away team, has brought a good contingent of fans. They're also packing the away stands, so they're getting treated to a great game this evening. Calling the penalties here.
So at least 2 penalties against Pioneer, then 1 against Depew. That will offset. Could be a replay of first down coming up for Depew. Again, so far, as we mentioned, they almost connected with Shipley in the left corner of the end zone. And now this time, knocking on the door. And we still have a 7-point game.
Rapid pace with 1 minute 49 seconds left to go. Of course, a little delay there as the officials sort things out. Stand will be 1st and 10 on the 15, on the 7-yard line.
So it was half the distance to the goal. Half the distance to the goal. So Depew at the 7-yard line. And it's a movement, I believe, against Depew. And it is a 5-yard penalty. So they'll march him back to 12.
On this team, you can see they have some good weapons. They return 6 players on offense this year, 7 on defense. For Pioneer, they bring back 3 offensive players and 6 defensive. Those were the starters from last year. So both teams with some decent numbers, especially for Depew, 13 guys coming back from the starting team last year.
First down at the 12-yard line. Trey looks to his left side, fires the pass, is incomplete, looking for Shipley. And there was coverage in the backfield, this time from Cass and Stover teaming up for Pioneer.
And that's one of the few passes that was got a little bit of away from Tom Shea. Joe, what I'm impressed with so far for the Wildcats is they have multiple threats. Pagano, we haven't even mentioned his name yet. Torres, Clark, Shipley, Khalil Handley, and Shea, of course, can either run or throw the ball. So they're showing a multitude of weapons right now.
Oh, it's 2nd and 7 at the Pioneer 12. Shea takes a snap, going to the left side. The QB keeper crosses the 10 and then brought down by Pioneer Sam Platt. So he gets about a couple yards on the play with 1:34 and ticking left in the second quarter.
And I think this is the game plan right now for Depew. Just kind of run the clock out, finish this drive with a touchdown, leaving next to nothing on the clock. That would be the perfect world for Mark DiRienzo.
So bring up a 3rd and 3 opportunity at the Pioneer 8. A lot of players in the backfield for Depew, including Mo Coley on the left side of Tommy Che. Che takes a snap, rolls to his right, fires. Pass is caught inside and complete to Clark. Hooking up inside and a first single opportunity coming up for Depew.
Really like what I see out of Tommy Shea right now. You can see the pressure was coming. The defense was showing definitely a rush there, and they brought it. Nice job for the line to hold just enough time for Shea to get that ball off. Midfield throw, those aren't easy when there's a lot of defense in the way. Nice job there for Shea. 36 seconds left and counting.
Actually, it appears we have a timeout first coming from Depew.
Score clock shows 59 seconds.
So Depew knocking on the door. And 59.2 seconds left in the first half. We mentioned early on that Tommy Che, the junior, replacing Chris Peters this season. Carson Alberti, another big name coming out of Depew over the past couple seasons, not only in football, but on the wrestling mat. And Carson Alberti was a all-of-a-kind player, as Coach DiRienzo told us earlier this week. And hopefully Carson is tuning in from wherever he is this evening. A great career with the Wildcats. 1st and goal at the 2 for Depew. Depew in the I formation, a handoff and a swirl correction in the backfield. A great pressure and a sack from Nate Bull.
Rush right there. Nate Bull, the junior, coming in right up. Lots of force right there. And that's a big drop in 41 seconds and counting.
Depew quickly back at the line. Che rolls out and is brought down. The ball is loose. It is tracked down by Pioneer. Pioneer with the loose ball, tracking it down this time. Dalton jiving with the recovery after the poke from Sam Platt. As we will take a look once again.
Try to call him down, but it did look like Che fumbled the ball before he was down on the turf. Interesting to see how the officials decide on this one.
Officials may have called down Depew before the loose. So it is Depew ball. The clock is winding down. 20 seconds left in the first half. Depew has, I believe, no timeouts left in the half. So one last play. The offense trying to run right up. Jay in shotgun. An empty backfield. Clock down to 5 seconds. Jay trying to take the snap. Jay rolls to his right, going to the corner of the end zone, looking for Clark, but it is incomplete. And the buzzer has sounded to end the first half of play between Pioneer and Depew. 7-0. The Panthers calling into Depew with the lead. Schwab connecting with Carter Jaibu with a 12-yard touchdown pass back in the first quarter. And that is how our scoring stands at the end of the first two quarters.
Great game so far, and the fans that are tuned into Western New York athletics being treated to a back-and-forth battle, and it's been a chess match, stalemate. Really, you saw Pioneer score on their first drive, Joe, and you thought, well, maybe this could be a long night for Depew, but they've steadied the ship. Offensively, they've been stymied on a couple of these drives that got far into the red zone, but just couldn't capitalize. But things are looking good for Depew in terms of their offense, showing a lot of strong weaponry right now.
So we'll step aside for our halftime break. Pioneer leading Depew 7-0. You're watching Section 6 football on Western New York Athletics.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
Life can be full of surprises, but not always the good kind. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care, and we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
And welcome back to Depew High School as the Wildcats are trailing to the visiting Pioneer Panthers 7-0 at the half. Joe Krause, Tim Rozak with you as we are taking a look at our scores from earlier in Week 1. We had some big games on Thursday night. Lakeshore with the big victory that you watched on Western New York Athletics over Dunkirk, 26-20. And then Amherst had the shutout victory over Starpoint to move to 1-0, a non-divisional game. And then we move to Friday night, a host of games. Niagara Wakefield over Hutch Tech. Orchard Park with a big win over Clarence, 36-13. Lancaster with the big win over Jamestown, 16-9. Sweet Home over Kenmore West. McKinley over Kenmore East. Frontier at a close over South Park, 33-26. West York Maritime with a shutout victory over Grand Island. Burgard with the victory over Springville. And then Iroquois later in the evening over Southwestern, 31-14. Falconer Castaneda Maple Grove with the win over Albion as well. The Olean Huskies moved to 1-0 with a 35-14 win over East Aurora Holland. Then Maryvale with the big win over Cleveland Hill, 28-8. Medina defeats Newfane, 21-7. And nail biter Roy Hart edging Alden, 22-20. Tonawanda with their first win in the Henry Fumarelli era, 22-20 over Eden. We're still waiting our score for the JFK Chautauqua Lake game, but Portville getting win number 1 over Allegheny Limestone all the way down a non-divisional game in Portville. Then we have Gowanda defeating Silver Creek 24-6, and Frewsburg with a big shutout win over Cadorus Little Valley 53-0, and Franklinville Elkettville a big win last night over St. Mary's 38-13. So those are all the Friday night scores for you. And then, as we've said, we've had a lot of coverage today for Saturday. We had Lackawanna Newport earlier this afternoon. CSP defeating Wilson. Wilson moving down to Class D this season. A 40-14 win, however, for CSP. Niagara Falls and Williamsville North are waiting for their score. West Attica West, as we mentioned early on, defeating North Tonawanda 38-12 earlier in the Sun. Salamanca and Randolph, Lockport and Hamburg currently over on our other games on West New York Athletics as well. And we also currently have Akron, Fredonia, Geektawaga, West Seneca East in our game as well. Pioneer Depew, again, Pioneer leading 7-0. So we have some games still in play, Tim Morozak, but so far so good in week 1.
Yeah, and I can give you an update. The Will North game against Niagara Falls, Williamsville North, wins big time, 43-14 in that game. From what I understand, Mitch Kelly with 5 touchdowns. So the quarterback for Will North, Mitch Kelly, keeping that Kelly name strong in Western New York. And also Lackawanna winning over Newport today, 34-17. So those are 2 more scores that have come in through the pipeline.
So as we mentioned, we have some big games as well coming up this upcoming week. Thursday the 8th. It's also the Bills and Rams kickoff for the Buffalo Bills out on the West Coast. And if you are watching on the West Coast, we have some big games to lead you into that one. McKinley will be on the road against Hutch Tech at Riverside High School, and Portville and Frewsburg in a Class D matchup. Then as we take a look at next Friday the 9th, Iroquois at Lakeshore. I mentioned Lakeshore with that close win over Dunkirk this past Thursday. Bishop Timon will face St. Andrews. We'll have Cadorus Little Valley hosting Gowanda. Pine Valley Wilson, again, as we mentioned, down in Class D now, taking on Franklinville Elkettville. Randolph looking for their first win. As we mentioned, they are playing right now against Salamanca. So it'll be determined how they do, taking on the 1-0 CSP squad. We have some other matchups. And, Tim, what other matchups would you say crosses your eye for next Friday?
Well, I think Depew Southwestern looks like a good matchup on paper. And Tonawanda Akron. We're not sure what's going on with Akron yet, but as you mentioned, Tonawanda with that first win in the Coach Fumarelli era. Williamsville East at Hamburg. You were able to check out Williamsville East yesterday in a big win against Will South. I know some people think Will South's in a rebuilding year with Joe Licata new at the helm, but I still think it's Will South, and they've had solid programs, and I expect Joe to do great things there. But Will East going on the road, and you were able to cover that game. What were your thoughts after watching that one?
Yeah, that's right. Williamsville East with a 35-14 win over Williamsville South. The Flames had 4 rushing touchdowns, but Caden Overcamp, a sophomore for Williamsville South, Joe Licata really likes what he's seeing with Overcamp and Jason Green under shotgun, that nice 1-2 punch. So the Billies, again, they'll be back next Saturday night. As you're looking for next Saturday as well, West New York Maritime Health Sciences as well. As we take a look here at our broadcast booth, Joe Kraus, Tim Rozak with you. Frank Wolf is our producer, and Russ Mateglia is upstairs. A big thanks to both Frank and Russ this evening. And Tim, as we're getting ready for the start of the second half here between Depew and Pioneer, again, a one-score game, a one-touchdown pass game. There's been a lot to be excited about here at Depew for both teams.
Absolutely, and, as we mentioned, both fan bases showing up big time here tonight at Frank Constantino Sports Complex, and it's a great night of football. The game has been fantastic. I like defensive battles. This is what we have right now, and it's been really a chess match, each team trying to win that line of scrimmage battle. That's really been closer than I expected. It looked like Pioneer, the first series or two, was really dominating in my opinion, but things have evened out, and the Pew Wildcat team, along with that solid backfield, looking strong and giving them a boost there. Unfortunately not able to get into the end zone, but showing some signs of life offensively was a good sign for the Wildcats.
On the flip side for Pioneers, we mentioned Coach Jim Dupre. He mentioned the last 2 weeks of the season, some close losses. They lost the majority of their games by only 10 points last season, but to end the season with 2 losses, a 4-point loss against Olean, and then a shutout loss in postseason time against Health Sciences. I think so far, if you're a Pioneer fan, you're liking what you're seeing from this new offense.
Yeah, and I think Coach Jim Dupree, 30 years experience, he knows what he has, and he'll use the skills and his best athletes to his advantage, and that's been the Giabo at the backfield, and of course they had the quarterback transfer from Canisius, so really not really seeing a ton of passing right now, but Pioneer looks good. And, of course, we know they're going to be a front runner in the B division this year.
So as we are moments away from taking on half number 2 between Pioneer and Depew, a big thanks to all of our sponsors for making this opening week possible. And if you would like to help out and potentially donate, visit westyorkathletics.com and be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You're watching this game on both of our Facebook and YouTube pages, so thanks to all joining us from here in Depew. We also have, as we mentioned, Lockport Hamburg, a big one, and Randolph Salamanca. And boy, we mentioned Lockport Hamburg. I spoke with Coach Jeff Tripp a couple weeks ago to do a story on Lennon Reformat for our opening West York Athletics football magazine. And Hamburg, they're ready to come back and play Hamburg football.
And Lockport, my alma mater, is in Hamburg tonight, so I'm going to be a little bit partial to that one. But that's a nice matchup on paper. Lockport last year, an up-and-down team. They had a nice streak where they put it together, and then they met Star Point at night, and I think that was a Thursday night game, and they just kind of laid an egg, and the season never was the same for them after. But that's a matchup where Lockport's always bringing athletes, and as you mentioned, Hamburg, a solid program year in and year out. Interesting to see what the score comes in on that one tonight.
Absolutely. We'll try to get a look out for you as we're just a couple moments away. Pioneer 7-0 lead. We mentioned Pioneer coming off a 5-4 finish last fall, 3-3 record in the Class B South. Now Pioneer moving up to the Class B1 division, and head coach Jim Dupre, he told me earlier this week that it's going to be a very tough division now in Class B1, the way that they've reclassified things in Section 6. You've seen a couple games so far. What are your thoughts on how the reclassification has been here in Section 6?
It's all based on student numbers, and like last night, for example, Jamestown, from what I understand, 9 students shy of being AA. So you take a program like Jamestown and what's already a stacked Class A division, and you bring down now Williamsville North is now dropped down to A. Clarence dropped down to A. They were handled pretty badly. That Orchard Park got the best of them last night. It'll be interesting to see what kind of team Clarence has as the year goes on. But right now, you're looking at 2 teams that have been AA participants for years now, moving down to A. The A division's really the one that stands out to me. You have 20 teams, only 8 going to be in the postseason. So there's 3. It's divided into 3 divisions. 2 teams are guaranteed from each of those 3 divisions, as I understand. And then there's going to be additional 4 teams as a wild card. Additional 2. So not many teams will make it out of the B, and there's a lot of talent in that B. The Williamsvilles, all 4 Williamsvilles are now in there. So 3. But then you have Ken West, who was upset last night. Sweet Home. How about that story?
Yes.
putting up big numbers, 41 points against Ken West, and huge running game yesterday by the Sweet Home running back, and his name's Jordan Theodore. So if you haven't heard of Jordan Theodore, keep that name in mind. Over 250 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns last night against Ken West.
And Sweet Home will continue on their season this upcoming Friday, coming to George J. Vedder Stadium in North Tonawanda. As you mentioned, Theodore, part of a very long line of successful Sweet Home Panther running backs. It should be a good one as well. We have a really good one coming back for you for the start of the second half. The buzzer about to expire. Pioneer with a 7-0 lead. And okay, Tim, I will ask you, you're heading into the second half. If your coach, Mark DiRienzio, if your coach, Jim Dupre, you have one quick pitch to both teams. What are you potentially telling them in the locker room?
You know, as far as Depew, I like the way they finished. They had that penalty that killed them in the drive, but overall, I like that their momentum had swung. I'd say keep doing what we're doing. We just need to minimize the mistakes. And for Coach Dupree, I think the message is a little different. They did let the momentum get away from them after being up 7-0, and I think he has to give them a bit of a little more of a stern talk, I'd say, but not quite sure the character and the tone of that locker room, but I would think that it's going to be a little more intense maybe on the Pioneer side.
And Pioneer saying, as we mentioned, they're competing in a very difficult division now in Class B1. Goal is to make it to the playoffs, win both sides of the line of scrimmage, and keep penalties and first game mistakes to a minimum, which I would say so far, through one half of play, Pioneer has done just that. Again, we mentioned the lone touchdown pass. Gavin Schwab, the sophomore, hooking up with his classmate Carter Drybu, a 12-yard touchdown pass. That was back with just over 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Depew will now kick off to Pioneer. Pioneer now going left to right on your screen for the third quarter of action. The crowd making its way back to their seats. They don't want to miss a moment, and we hopefully you'll stay with us the rest of tonight. A little bouncing kick, and the Panthers will start off right on the 40-yard line.
Nice tackle there by Alfonso Handley. Handley just a sophomore, but having his name called a few times tonight. And Handley is another one of those athletes on this team, lined up at wide receiver and cornerback, and getting the start tonight. I guess another answer to that pep talk or halftime talk by Coach Dupree. I think part of the message is we need to score on this first possession. They get the ball to start the second half. Here's a chance for them to regain that momentum that I believe they lost there in the second quarter.
Pitch to the left. This is Kyle Stover trying to get to the outside. He does not. Great pressure from Depew. Just to touch on your last point, Tim, Depew offensively having those back-to-back opportunities inside the 40 of Pioneer. They just couldn't connect.
Yeah, and you know, we mentioned Stover at the top of the broadcast as a player to really key on for the Panthers. The senior kind of having a quiet second quarter. Dalton Jibo getting most of the action in the backfield, but right there, Stover getting called upon to start things here in the third.
Second down coming up for the Panthers. Well, Stubble now rolling out. Schwab fires, deflected, incomplete. Mo Khalil almost had a hand on that one.
And that Mo Khalil continues to impress me. That speed, he was on that like white on rice right there. As you can see on the replay, Khalil, you know, if he, I almost think he could have maybe positioned himself for an interception. He was so far ahead of that play, and that's what you call good football instinct. Nose for the ball. Mo Khalil flowing with the play very well there.
This brings up 3rd and 10 for Pioneer. Schwab in the shotgun, takes a snap, looks to his right. The pass is complete. This time to Stover, makes his way to the 50, and then he's stopped out by the Depew secondary man, Justin Reffermat. It'll be a First down, gain of 9.
Check that. It's going to be 4th and 1, I believe, Joe, as that was just stopped. And Stover, you could see inching for every yard he could get. Did a nice job grinding out those last couple yards, and he had definitely taken some punishment by the Depew defense, which made sure to make a statement when they brought him down.
Short play up the middle. Here's with Schwab on the carry. He does get it up for the first down, so the chains keep on going for the Panthers.
You know, I think some people coming into this game may have said, well, Pioneer, bigger division or higher, class of opponent, maybe they'd be a bigger favorite in this game. Of course, it's the first game of the season, so it's really hard to predict what team is going to be showing up. But right now, very evenly matched so far game.
Depew in the Class C Central Division. Pioneer, as we mentioned, up to Class B1. First and 10 at the Depew 48-yard line. Hand off up the middle. And a gain of maybe 1 or 2 on the play. Khalil on the carry. Correction, Stover on the carry. Khalil on the tackle. And no gain.
And Ben Pratt also stepping in on defense there. Pratt, solid senior. And you look at those seniors on this team, you got a good mixture on the Depew team of seniors and juniors, throwing a couple sophomores as well with Justin Refferman and Alfonso Handley. It's a good mix of talent.
Under 9 minutes to play. Promo to the second half. Panthers go to the ground once again, going with their big man, Logan Holiday, coming in 5'9".
Gavin Schwab, Joe, there had to make a nice grab. It was a low snap and showing good hands, and with a seamless execution, good gain off of what could have been a bit of a disaster in the backfield.
Still a 6-yard chunk for the Panthers. A manageable 3rd and 4 opportunity coming up at the Depew 42-yard line. Panthers winding down the clock to start this second half of play. This is Schwab in the shotgun. Motion man going right to left. Now the snap. Schwab on the QB keeper. Going on the left side. Cuts inside the 40. Gets close to the 35. And then brought down by Depew. A host of them. Kyle Kristoff leading the charge.
Beautiful block there by Logan Halliday, the running back / fullback. Also plays middle linebacker for Pioneer, but he was bringing the heat and paving a nice path for the offense there.
Keeping the chains, another first down coming up for Pioneer. All the way to the Depew 36-yard line. Motion man, still going right to left. Now the snap, hand off to Holiday. Goes up the middle. It's about maybe 3 or 4 on the play, and then brought down by that big linebackers from Depew.
Yeah, it looked like also number 22, Lucas Saya, number 22, the junior, also in on the assist there.
There has been a timeout called on the field. So we're going to try to step aside as well. 7:23 left in the third quarter. Pioneer knocking on the door on Western New York Athletics.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
7:23 left in the third quarter. Out of town update. Lockport and Hamburg are tied at 8. Again, we are streaming that game as well on our West New York Athletics Network. Randolph and Salamanca as well. Joe Kraus, Tim Rozak with you from Depew High School. And Pioneer, Tim, knocking on the door, coming up 2nd and 6 at the Depew 32.
Yeah, this is a Pioneer team, Joe. Last year rushed for close to 2,000 yards. They only passed for, they passed for less than 400 yards total. So we know it's a ground and pound team. However, with the quarterback Schwab, you didn't know what you're going to see. Just a sophomore, the transfer from Canisius, but still looks to be ground and pound. And we know Coach Mark DiRienzo expected the offense to be basically a run game first for Pioneer, and that's certainly played out so far this game.
DiRienzo in his 5th season at the varsity level, a long-time varsity assistant. He's been with the program overall since 1993, back in the heydays of the Buffalo Bills, K-Gun offense with Coach Marv Levy and quarterback Jim Kelly. And speaking of the Bills, they're back in action this Thursday to open the season against the Super Bowl LA Rams. And now it appears that players are going and exiting the field.
There may have been a lightning warning, perhaps. So it looks like there's a lightning delay that is going to be taking place. And just as this game was moving at a great pace, lightning striking again.
So we're going to step aside. Again, we're in a lightning delay. Pioneer over Depew. 7:23 left in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back in just a little bit. This will be a 30-minute delay based from the last lightning strike. So we're going to we'll keep it posted, but we're going to step aside for a break. Again, early stages of the 3rd quarter. Pioneer leading Depew 7-0 on Western New York Athletics.
jumping on me. I thought it's a cricket.
And we are back here at the Frank Constantino Sports Complex, home of the Depew Wildcats. And unfortunately, Mother Nature has said we're going to pick this up at a different day. That is right. Our game between Pioneer and Depew has been canceled tonight due to a lightning delay. Our score, Pioneer 7, Depew 0, with 7:23 left in the third quarter. It also will be second down, and I believe 6 at the 32-yard line of Depew. So what that means is that we're still deciding when the game will be scheduled. There are potentially tomorrow at noon, but nothing official yet. We will let you know. But when the game will reset, whenever they decide to resume, it'll pick up 2nd and 6 at the Depew 32-yard line. Pioneer with the ball in a 7-0 lead over Depew. Joe Kraus, Tim Rozek with you, and we've had a wild night, a lot of back and forth between these two teams. Your thoughts on the game tonight, even though it's not officially over?
My type of game. I love defense, and both these teams were really struggling for yardage, and, you know, each team had moments, and I expect tomorrow to be no different. Both these teams showing strong offensive games, and then defensively, the line of scrimmage was a factor for defenses to be able to execute, and it's a shame we have to call it early tonight, but look forward to tomorrow catching this second half at least, and hopefully no more lightning tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Pioneer with the 1 touchdown pass. Gavin Schwab to Carter Jayabu back in the first quarter. 5:12 remaining left in the first quarter. The Panthers got the extra point as well, 7-0. And Depew, a couple times in that second quarter, you could see Shipley, the wide receiver, his foot just touched the chalk in the back of the left end zone. So Depew, they're still kind of clicking, but there is something there to look ahead for the host Wildcats.
Yeah, we were mentioning it during the broadcast, their backfield, and they have some major athletes to go to. Mo Khalil really was a standout. Jeremy Clark, Thomas Che, and a couple underclassmen. They've got a nice mix of juniors, seniors, and a couple sophomores. So like what I see out of both teams, and of course Depew being the smaller conference team, look out for them again in the C's, and of course Pioneer with no more Western New York Maritime in the way, definitely looking like they could be a contender in the B's as well.
So again, we are still waiting for the official time of when this game will resume. Potentially tomorrow with a noon kickoff. We haven't heard the official word yet from the athletic director here at Depew, but 7-0 Pioneer the score over Depew. 7:23 left in the third quarter. I'll ask you one last one, Tim. If you are a player for either Pioneer or Depew and you have to get up again potentially tomorrow, as we want to stress here, whenever they resume, you have to go through the routine. Tuesday is the first day of school. How do you mentally prepare for this first game again to try to finish this one out?
Well, I think the good thing for high school athletes is they've been so entrenched into the basically submerged into preseason, being in off-season workouts, and now over the last 2 weeks, an intense training getting to this opener. So as far as the routine, I don't think it's going to be too much different. Of course, they're going to be wired tonight. It's going to be hard to go to sleep probably right away. They definitely will need to get good sleep, so that's going to be a factor as well. But I look at these are high school kids. They got tons of energy, and I think they'll be prepared tomorrow to demonstrate great athleticism on the field just as they did tonight.
So again, we are still waiting the official word of when this matchup. Pioneer 7-0 lead over Depew. 7:23 left in the third quarter. 2nd and 6 at the Depew 32-yard line whenever this game is resumed. But for tonight, for my partner Tim Rozak, Frank Wolf, our producer, Russ Mateglia, our cameraman, this is Joe Kraus signing off from the Frank Constantino Sports Complex. Good night from Depew, New York, and you've been watching Section 6 football on West.